Jack Whitman had just turned 70. After 4 decades of working as a high school counselor in Ohio, he finally stepped into retirement. His co-workers threw him a small party and gave him a parting gift, a mahogany wall clock, handcrafted and engraved, to Mr. Whitman, who always had time for others. He smiled politely, said thank you, and quietly drove home. The house was too quiet now. His wife Carol had passed 2 years earlier. His daughter Ellie lived across the country and rarely called. He hung the clock in the den, where the afternoon sun spilled across old books and faded photographs. The clock ticked gently, as if it were the only sound left. Jack had spent most of his life in a hurry. He'd rushed through breakfast to make it to work, rushed his conversations with his wife, thinking they'd always have more time. He even rushed through reading bedtime stories to Ellie, saying, "Daddy's tired, sweetheart, we'll finish it tomorrow." But tomorrow doesn't come back once it's gone. In retirement, time slowed. He had all the hours in the world, but no one to share them with. The ticking of the new clock grew louder, almost mocking. "All those years," he whispered, "and I never stopped long enough to just be." One rainy afternoon, Jack found a box in the attic labeled "Not Now, Later." Inside were letters he'd written but never sent. Letters to Carol during their arguments, letters to Ellie when she left for college, letters to himself during his hardest days. He sat by the fireplace, the clock behind him ticking steadily, and read them one by one. His hands trembled, his heart heavier with every page. There was so much he had never said. The next morning, Jack did something he hadn't done in years. He called his daughter. It went to voicemail, but this time, he didn't hang up. "Ellie, it's Dad. I was just thinking about your 7th birthday. You wanted to build a tree house, and I told you we'd do it next weekend. I guess I thought there would always be time. I'm sorry for all the next times that never came. I love you. Call me if you'd like to talk." He exhaled. The silence felt lighter. Weeks passed. Then one autumn morning, there was a knock at the door. Ellie stood there, older, tired, uncertain, but she was there. They didn't say much at first, just sat in the den, sunlight flickering across the clock. Ellie looked at it and smiled. "Still keeping track of everyone's time, Dad?" He chuckled, eyes misty, trying to make up for the time I lost. Over the next few months, they rebuilt what had been broken. Slowly, patiently. Ellie started bringing her own children to visit. Jack told stories, cooked the old family recipes. He even picked up the guitar again. One evening, as the grandkids played at his feet, Ellie asked, "Do you ever wish you could